Students, well, it has been a long time since I have made a video, but I thought I might as well do one this time about the postcard. Um, I usually don't include this project, but I thought it could be fun. It's a way to exercise a lot of the tools. And I know the last one that you just had was a collage, but this one, I don't know, it's just one more thing that you can add to your portfolio. Also, it's more geared towards a city, so you can choose any city you would like. Today, I want to show you, um, I'm going to create a collage of Houston, of course, because that's where we live, but you don't have to choose Houston. You can choose anywhere you'd like. I just thought, you know, I lived in New York and other great cities. I don't want to boast or anything like that, but it's so easy to make postcards of New York or other great cities, but I think we live in a great city, so why not Houston? So um, I just thought, why not? I love our city. I mean, I lived in other places before, and as much as I love those places, Houston is just home. So I thought, why not, celebrate our city? So there's so much to our city if you actually look. So for instance, here, this is a picture. I just love the way this picture depicts our city because um, it's it's a nice shot. But I just also wanted to show you before we start that I actually get our pictures, the pictures that I just chose, I got them from a website called Pexels, Pexels.com. And so if you're a photographer already, you're already one step ahead as a graphic designer because you can use your own work. Or if you're a videographer, even better, you know exactly what you're looking for and you can use your own work. So, of course, that's great. And as a matter of fact, I'm not a photographer, but I did buy a little camera or actually, I mean, I bought this camera years ago, but nowadays, your iPhone, they're making these phones so advanced that you can really um, they take great shots. So get creative and, get out there and you can just use pictures of things right around where you live. It doesn't have to be great iconic pictures or whatever. But anyway, so here it's a free stock photo. It's just in case you're looking for something out of the box, let's say. So um, I just wanted to show you what you can do and help you think creatively. And okay, so I chose this place, Pexels.com, because it's free stock. And so if you did want to advertise, let's say if you have your own company or something like that, you would like to create an ad or something, then you would probably want to go with something like iStock or Shutterstock. But for projects like this, to get a good picture with good resolution, see, it's real easy to go to Google and type in the type of image you're looking for, but then you fall in love with the small image and then you can't use it, you know. So you have to put a lot of these kind of things into account. Okay, so for instance, this is not where we're going to start. This is the image I downloaded. I downloaded a couple of different images that I want to use for my postcard, but this is not where I want to start. Okay, so you have to start by the specifications of the project. And where we start is we go to File, New, and we have to make sure that we are under inches. Okay, because that is the specs say, they say 6 by 4 inches. Okay, so it should be the orientation should be landscape. And the pixels, the standard size for the industry for print is 300 pixels. Okay, now if this is something that you're going to put on a website, it has to be 72. 72 is low resolution, but that's because things have to load faster online. In print, it has to be 300 because when you print it out at 72, you're going to start noticing pixels, and it's going to be aggravating because you spent all this time on this collage. So the best thing to do is to start big. Let's say you want to use it in several different places for web and print. You want to start with big, okay? And then when you're done, if you want to use it for the web, then save a smaller version. You can't go from small to big, but you can go from big to small. Okay, just a little FYI. Okay, so this is my canvas, 6x4 at 300 dpi. All right, so where I want to start is with the background. Okay, so I select all, Control A or Apple A, and Control C or Apple C to copy, and Control V or Apple V to paste. All right. So I want to see how big my image is. You turn this little icon here when you're under the Move tool, and you can minimize or enlarge. Now you don't want to enlarge too much because again you mess with the pixels. So I want to kind of move it towards the bottom because I want this area up here for some of the images that I'm going to import. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to X this out so it can give me more space. No, I don't want to save. I have it saved somewhere in my files. The next thing, I would like to add this spaceship right into my canvas. Okay, I'm going to copy it, paste it in here. What I like to do is I like to lower the opacity to kind of gauge where I want to put it. So if I want to put it up here or make it any smaller, you know, the opacity kind of helps me. Just letting you know how I work. Okay, so once I'm done, I double click that and I will add a mask. So as you saw the previous project, I used a mask. And so between the black and the white, you can take away what you'd like. Now the brush hardness, the 100% hardness is a very rigid brush, and at 0 is a very soft brush. And another shortcut is you can use the brackets key in your keyboard to kind of go up and down. So here I'm going to just place my little spaceship. Again, I'm doing a quick job, so it's not supposed to be perfect, but I kind of just showing you different things that you can do. You can even lower the opacity also of the brush so that you can, you know, soften it up even more. However you'd like to have this come in. Okay. So the next picture I would like to bring in is our little astronaut. So this astronaut is I'm gonna paste it right here. And again, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna lower the opacity to kind of gauge where I want him or her to kind of peek out of some of the buildings. Kind of want him to be in the center. Okay, so I know where I want him. So what I'm gonna do is bring him back. And again, if I had more time, I would probably go in here with much detail, but this is the last. Oh, let me little closer so I don't, so at least I can see where. Okay, so I'm doing a very sloppy job, but the point is that I am going to cut him out, or her, from this picture. And you don't have to be perfect, actually, because the mask tool just gives you so much flexibility that you can go back and forth. So again, do you want this to be a soft brush to bring in the negative and the positive? That's up to you. It depends. Like this, I probably need the opacity to be a little bit stronger. And you know, to come into the details of, I probably do not, I probably want it to be 100% at this point. Okay, so you can go in and out. Oop, that's probably too much. My brush is too big, so I can make it smaller. Okay, like I said, I'm not spending too much time on this, but again, I will lower the opacity to kind of see where the buildings are. Oh, did I create another mask? I didn't want to do that. You can always go to, also, if you mess up or you go to, or you could throw that away. Yes. Okay, if you do mess up, this right here, this is your history. So you're allowed to make mistakes, okay? We're all human. We make mistakes. But let's say you got to a good point, and if you go here, this will take you to the very beginning, okay? And then if you go here, this is the last thing you did. But if you create a snapshot, this is what I love about Photoshop. You can take a snapshot. Let's say, okay, I like where I'm at right here, but I want to continue. I don't know where I'm going, because that's what happens with Photoshop. You just go off on an adventure, a tangent, if you will, and but at least you say, I want to save the snapshot in case I want to go back to it. Or sometimes you go to you take another snapshot and you say, you kind of compare, do I like this one better than that one? So that's really good about the snapshots. Okay, so my layers here, and I was lowering the opacity because you have to make sure that you are on the actual image, and this one is your mask. Okay, so if I've done this before where I am in the image and I start to paint it black and white, and that's not what I want to do. I want to be in the layer mask. So see, now I know that if I put him over this, I have to take out all this little detail. So just for the sake of this assignment, I'm gonna take him away from all the detail, and I'm gonna put him behind something that's a lot easier to mask. Just because I just want to quickly show you what we can do. So now that I have the astronaut over the building, then I know what I can take out. So I go to the brush and I want to take out this portion. I can make my brush bigger, and I know that I can take this out. So it looks like he's peeking behind the buildings. And that's what I kind of want you to do. I want you to have fun and play with scale and make it abstract looking. Okay, we're going to get the opacity back. So does that look kind of real? I don't know. I think it's all about the details. You know, that probably doesn't look so great, but the idea is there. Okay. So the next thing, I'm going to use this picture to go inside of the face area. And I'm going to make that smaller. Again, I like to make the opacity here so I kind of know where I want to put it. So this is a good place for me, and I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and create a mask. Oh no, not yet. First you do the selection and then the mask. Okay, so you select first, then the mask, and then you can clean it up. You can clean it up. Go back and forth. Okay, so that's good right there. All right, so that's the third pic. No, 1, 2, 3. That's the fourth picture. Okay, so we've used him already. And the last picture is, of course, the Astros. I mean, we have such a great team. Of course, I had to use the Astros. It's iconic. But this is going to take me a while to go right around him. So I'm not going to use him for the sake of this tutorial. Okay, I just wanted to show you what you can do. So another thing I wanted to show you is that you can also use shapes. So here is a shape tool. This is, if you click, you have a rectangle, rounded rectangle. You can create a circle and then custom shapes. Okay, but I'm gonna do a circle. You want to hold down Shift to create a perfect circle. Okay, now it gives you the dimensions and all that kind of good stuff here, but I want to go to my layers. And here's the funny thing. I had to learn something new today because I went to the effects and I wanted a gradient overlay. Okay, so this is a gradient overlay I wanted. But what I saw was that, okay, this is the move tool, that I wanted to put a blending mode and it wasn't letting me, and it just kind of upset me because I want to use the shapes that way. So what you have to do is actually go back into your effects and under the, where is it? Under the blending options, you have to select blend interior effect as group. I don't know why, but this is what I wanted out of it, because you can add all of these other blending modes. You know, you want something different, and I just love the way that looks. So let's say we choose hard light. Okay, and you can just put it, put it wherever you want. And you can create other circles as well. Just have different, go back to your blending modes and gradient overlay. And in the gradient overlay, you choose, let's say, oranges. They have different types of, I'm so glad that they have already preset some of these things, because before they didn't exist and you had to create your own, but these are pretty cool. Okay, and you can say which angle you want them, like if you want them kind of coming towards like this, and don't forget to hit the blending interior, say okay. And now you can say, let's say, something like that. And just play with the shapes, you know? Have them kind of, just have fun. I want you guys to have fun with this project. And another thing is that and you're going to see, I showed you in the other videos that you can actually choose the custom shape tool. It allows you to choose, it has different things like animals, boats, and trees. And if you go here, I think you can see a large list. Okay, so you can see what kind of if you wanted animals, if you want to add, who knows, you can make this fun. I know that they have other types of shapes, but you can really just have fun looking what kind of shapes they have. Let's see, I'm just gonna choose a tree just to I think I'm choosing just a Christmas tree, and you can choose what color you want. I'm gonna go with this bright blue since I'm already using that color, and then you can just kind of do that. And again, you can add an effect if you wanted to do a gradient overlay on the tree. Do that, like, I mean, you can choose any color you want, but for the sake of this video, and say blend interior, okay, and we're going to choose a different blending mode. Why don't we choose a different color? Oops. Gradient overlay. How about some purples? This one. Okay. All right. Okay, that's probably too busy, but just to show you different things that you can do. You can move things around, have them wherever you'd like. But after you're done, you say File, Save As, save to your computer, give it a proper name. You would like to save it either as a JPEG, a Photoshop PDF, or even a PNG is fine, okay? And hit save, and that should be it. All right, everybody, that is it, and I hope you enjoyed this project, okay?